All right. Ted Words.
Ted Words.
Ted Words is our part of the show today.
What's happening?
What's up, Ted Words?
What's up, Ted?
Hey.
Ted Words says, what's up, number one pod in the world? I mean,
Hello.
I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
You know. I'm going to try and make this quick. So I met my sister's boyfriend. Nice church-going guy. But the red flags went up when I found out he went by 2 different names. One being his first name, the other being his middle name. Okay. So I did some digging. And he's a registered sex offender.
Oh, shit.
I find out my sister knows and get the story that he was working at a school, thought the girl was 17, but she was 15, etc. Which none of that matters because he was still 26 at the time.
Oh.
He seems to be a good guy, but I have young cousins. Is this info she should make known? Is this info that she should make known? Or could he had learned from his mistakes?
She should make that known.
Still making.
I'm sure your face being on that list is embarrassing enough.
You gotta make that known.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be around any of my younger nieces, nephews, whatever the fuck, yeah, I gotta know.
You could have still learned your lesson, but in the event that you didn't, and that's not a risk I'm willing to take, you got to make that known.
Hell yeah. Abundantly clear. And as a teacher, even if she was of legal age, you still shouldn't be fucking your students.
That true.
Is that? Did she make that? Did they make that clear that he was a teacher?
Oh no, he worked at a school.
He just worked at
even
the
if you
school.
work at a school,
Right?
You shouldn't be fucking students,
Yes, agreed.
no matter what your capacity is.
Now she has to make that known.
Yeah.
Informed consent for anybody even wanting to be in his presence.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't
Wouldn't what?
want to be in his presence.
Are y'all
I'm
putting
not-
yourself in the girl's shoes at all? Or no?
Oh, the
girl that's dating
sister?
him?
The one that's dating him?
Y'all feel like she should feel like y'all saying?
Oh, I think it's crazy that she's dating him.
Nah. See, I don't think that part. Because people can learn from their mistakes, et cetera, but that label that you have, that has to follow.
Well,
you.
and if the relationship progresses, it's going to follow you. So let's just say the relationship progresses, you get engaged, you get married. The registered sex offender part, that is going to be a stain on you
Facts.
forever.
That's a risk you're willing to take.
You won't be able to live near schools. He won't ever be able to pick up, if you guys have kids, he won't even be able to pick up your kids from school. Like, it will be a serious problem in your relationship. I wouldn't.
And now that I think about it, I don't think dude may have necessarily I can't say that he's learned from his mistakes like that, because why are you running around hiding it, like switching your name up and stuff?
That part.
You know what I'm saying?
You're switching up your name. That indicates to me that you really don't.
About?
I'm lost.
Dog,
What are y'all talking about?
If you are a registered sex offender,
then I'm changing my name.
No, bigger than
Then
that.
I'm switching my
bigger
name.
than that. Who says
I will not be referred to the same
Bigger than
name
that.
as I was referred
My
to
name
back
is-
then.
my name
I'm
is
changing.
There's laws for that reason.
My
bro.
name is Ish.
The law
My
don't have
real
nothing to
name
do
is
with how I
Antoine.
introduce myself.
We are assuming
You are trying to
that's not
duck
true.
accountability
We're
on that.
assuming
name.
that.
Oh, you crazy
we are
as hell.
assuming that.
We'll agree to disagree.
No,
on that.
we're assuming that he gave 2 separate names because of that. My man went digging, and he thought that that's why he did that.
Well, he said he's been introduced as 2 different names, so that's a red flag. So that's what made him go digging.
That's not. No,
That's what he said.
Dog. Again, my name is Antoine. Most people know me as Ish. I ain't purposely trying to hide. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I'm not
Go ahead.
purposely trying to hide who I am based on that. My man went digging and found that.
Well, let me respond, please.
Sure.
Ish is a nickname.
Okay.
He went by his first name and by his middle name.
Some
These are
people
his-
do that.
But I'm just saying.
I do that.
Cool.
But I don't really go by my first name, so it's weird if someone's been introduced by my first name. So
If,
anyway,
if you're introducing to, if she introduces him to you as one thing and then introduces to Mel as another name, and you catch on to that, like something's off with that. Yo, what? Wait,
the name thing is not a red flag to me.
Not at all.
It's a,
For that guy, it was a red flag. For that guy, it was a red
and
flag.
he looked and found something there.
But that
Yeah.
was my point with Ice. Like that may not be. It depends on who I get introduced to. I've been introduced to some people. I'll say my name is Antoine, based on the comfortability. They could be somebody older. They could be somebody in a corporate setting, whatever the case may be. I might introduce myself as Antoine. But for my general people, I say my name is Ish.
All of this for me is like a moot point.
No, I'm just saying, but that don't mean that I'm trying to cover up some shit. My man just went looking and he went looking and found it. My man might not have been purposefully or intentionally trying to hide that. That's what I'm saying.
That's valid.
That's true.
The sister also, like he said, clearly believes the story.
Homeboy.
From her man.
She knew. He didn't hide it from her.
Yeah, he didn't hide it at all. So, I mean, like, no, I could see that young lady not telling anybody in her family. I don't understand y'all. Like, y'all niggas dated women before, and women will hold you down.
Yeah, but even in that situation,
if your
he
girl
thought the girl was
she will hold you
17
the fuck down.
and my man was 26.
No, she's not telling you, brother, Tedward. She's not telling your young nieces and nephews.
We just had this conversation the other day on the pod. And the dude got accused of something. I forgot what it was. And he had to register as a sex offender.
You're talking about designer. And that was false. He did not have to register as a sex offender. That was a false story that we just reported.
Well, I forgot it was something
it was
we talked about.
Jerking off.
And you were like, yo, I don't know if that's true. Because
and I was right about that.
Some of these things, I think they need to put different levels on that. Because a lot of this shit is again, you could be 17, fucking a 15-year-old in the wrong state.
I think that there is levels.
That's a sex offender
in the
thing
registry
where you have to register. So when we saying like, yo, this person got to register, they can't go to schools, they can't do this, they can't do that, we grouping all of these people into one group. Some of these niggas is nasty niggas, and some of these niggas was 17 or 18 fucking a 15-year-old. That's different levels to the shit.
Or sometimes you whipped it out and you were like taking a leak and you just happen to be in the close proximity of a school and shit happens.
You get what I'm saying? So I think that is levels to that. We just grouping them all in the same. There
are 3 tiers. It says the prosecutors classify sex offenders in one of 3 tiers based on the degree of risk they pose to the public. So there's tier 1, which is low risk, tier 2, moderate risk, and tier 3, high.
But when you go register, we just grouping them because we ain't even know that in our conversation.
Correct.
So I just think that, I think
tier 1 requires registration as a sex offender for 10 years or 5 years for minors. Tier 2 requires registration as a sex offender for 20 years or 10 years for minors. And tier 3 requires registration as a sex offender for life.
Lifetime.
Across the board.
See, we didn't even know that. But yeah, I think that's Shorty's business. Depending on the circumstance and what took place.
I don't know how I feel about that one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want any of the shorties hanging around my.
Yeah.
How would you feel as a girl dad when it happened?
That's what I'm saying. And I don't know how I would feel if a family member is dating this dude that is a sex offender and you bringing him around my daughter, around the family with his kids. I guess my question is, as a girl dad, what could you do to stop it? You can't do anything to stop a lot of this shit.
I think it depends on the circumstances around it, yo. That's more important to me. I think it's the circumstances around it. I just do. Like, again, it's nastiness out here.
And also, you're taking his word that, I thought she was 17, but she really turned out to be 15. But if you worked at the school, chances are maybe you had access to the records of what her actual age was.
That's not necessarily.
Depends on what capacity.
Could have been a janitor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Working at the school don't mean that. Could have been anything. But I'm just saying, if you're 26 years old,
at the school, why?
If you're 26 years old and you thought she was 16, 17, that's still crazy to me.
No, Joe Budden.